You know, you step away for just a little bit, kind of take a few months of hiatus on your own, and everybody that you enjoy A-logging sort of just falls apart. Hassan's out here getting called out for allegedly supporting terrorists.
This is a group of people that are like, no, we care about the Palestinians. We don't want you bombing them. So we're going to take action. And we're going to try to punish you economically to the best of our ability. And by God, they started doing that, and they were doing it real well. You support terrorism, question mark? No, I don't. I don't support the state of Israel. And I don't support the state of the United States of America.
iDubbbz is destroying his wife's boxing event, or, well, you know, maybe I should say Anissa's husband. Ethan Klein's getting CPS falsely called on him, and as a result, he's reaming a new asshole into everybody responsible. Well, it isn't exactly related, but, you know, it's some sweet revenge.
There's certain lines you cross, and you cross it with the wrong people, and that's what you did. Just wait, okay? I can't wait for videos crying. Ethan's suing me. Ethan's stalking me. Ethan's all this.
Mm-hmm.
Yup.
And DSP as well.
Are we seriously going to go the entire stream without a single sub on Kick? Is this for real? No support from Kick at all today. Zero. Not even a singular subscription on Kick. Are you for real?
Oh, nothing's changed. And then there's Rekieta. It was only back in November when I was really expecting something to happen out of this whole situation. Melton had the whole email thing. Steel Toe was pretty much avoiding jail, or at least doing his best to stay out of it. And Rekieta was actually facing some real charges that seemed like they could go somewhere, maybe. But yeah, it turns out nothing. Not even the body cam footage, not even anything about him getting convicted with all of the charges, just straight into a brick fucking wall. The alleged hacking of Aaron's email has been pretty much totally forgotten, with the exception of like Kino Casino occasionally talking about it and a few others. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, no one even cares about that anymore. And I feel like Aaron doesn't even care about it at this point either, because he's got more important things to worry about. And that, among many other things, is kind of what brings me to the whole point of making this video. And it's just that after looking at it all now, beyond a year past the initial incident, it really just feels like Rackets is kind of just won. He's really come out of the shit-filled pipes smelling of roses. Or, you know, should I say plastic, rather, from the Baldo collection, which for some reason the police didn't take. And actually, you know, to be honest, if I was the cops, I wouldn't touch that shit either. It may be degenerate, but yeah, I don't want whatever's on those. Jokes aside, though, there is seriously no doubt that he came out of this very well. Almost all of the walls put before him have pretty much crumbled down at this point. The body cam footage we all wanted? Well, that's pretty much gone to the wayside now, too. There was a good period of time where Rekieta was like really stuck between a rock and a hard place, where even if he somehow managed to get out of this situation without serious charges, it was likely that the body cam footage would be released. I mean, I talked about this a while back, and that seemed to be the general consensus around a lot of people watching this whole thing, is that, well, you know, he may not actually face punishment, but at least he'll be mocked in public, and it'll be funny because we get to sit around and eat popcorn and watch this crazy body cam footage. But no. The best way I can describe how Rekieta managed to squirm his way out of this one is that since the body cam footage was never used during the trial itself, Nick pled guilty ahead of time, and it was not actually public information because of that, and therefore had it sealed away. At least his lawyers had it sealed away. Now, this was after they had already decided to give the footage over, which was seen by a few ladies that Josh from Kiwi Farms had over there to at least take notes on it. One of them, in fact, talked to the Kino Casino about the state of the house and just how disgusting it was. They even ranked it on a scale, too, in terms of, like, hoarding.
Yeah, it's, again, between 4 and 5. And
what?
The other lady said a 5.
A 5?
So about a 5 on the
Okay.
clutter image rating scale.
Jeez.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty important.
5?
Oh, no.
But alas, we will probably never see this footage. I think the best that we'll get is this rendition someone made of what it probably looked like. And I mean, isn't this good enough really at this point? We already know. Now, as far as the case itself, like I said before, Rackets has pled guilty, but only to one of the 3 charges. The other 2 were dropped, one of them being the child neglect charge. And what does he get for this? What's the punishment for this whole thing, with 1 charge being on there? Is it maybe months in prison? Perhaps a severe fine on top of that, or just a loan? Well, no. It's 80 hours community service, which he's currently complaining about.
On my first day of community service tomorrow, I've been trying to swindle my way into doing something that I'm actually good at and useful. Because I'm not. Look, I'm frail. I'm little, and I'm old. I'm not going to be good at manual labor or anything. So it's like, what are you gonna have me do? I've also been, I've also been dealing with an ailment, which makes some physical activity a little bit more difficult. But whatever they have me do will be fine. I'm not actually complaining.
5 years probation and 30 days in jail, which a few have already been served. This is undoubtedly a slap on the wrist, to say the least. I feel like a normal person in this situation, someone without the resources available to him or the alleged connections that he has in that area, would not be getting off so lightly on this. It would be way worse. And I feel like there have been many cases that have been brought up regarding this, or at least I have some memory of people discussing other situations where people in Rekieta's situation have been railroaded hard. And I don't even know if railroading is the exact word I'd use for this, considering it's more than likely justified. But still. And to add to that too, the whole polycule situation is pretty much just a mystery now at this point. I mean, as if it wasn't already a mystery before then. But no one really knows what's going on, and to be honest, no one cares. I don't think anyone actually gives a shit about any of that anymore. Like I said towards the beginning, he's won this. If anything, he may even skirt on the 30 days, depending on how good of a boy he is for these community service hours that he's currently doing, or how well he holds up with his probation. I mean, who knows? Who knows? He very well could just walk away from it all scot-free. What really sort of seals this for me, though, is the Montegraph situation, which as I was starting to set this up and get ready to record this, I found out that he had completely dropped that side of it too. So that's, again, another W for the rackets, another W for the Baldo. With all that being said, it just feels like it's getting boring now. You know what I mean? Like it's to the point where there's nothing to really talk about. This whole situation has been drug out for so long. PPP talked about this as well, and I'm sure that a few others have too, where it's just become worn out, that nobody even cares about it anymore, which, rightfully so. It's what else is there to talk about? I feel that the people who believe he's guilty already feel that way and aren't going to change their mind, and the people who still to this point don't think he's guilty aren't going to change their mind. So there's really nothing to go by here, except just watch this man fail to successfully stream. He'll never be back to what he was back in the day. There'll never be the same level of relevance or success or, Netflix shows like it was. I mean, there may be a Netflix show, but it won't be in favor of him. It'll be quite the opposite. So, who really knows what'll happen at the end of the day? It was fun while it lasted, but there's no enjoyment that I get from watching any of his streams anymore, and I don't even think that it's good A-log material either. Like, the guy's just a shell, really. I mean, as if he was ever really entertaining to begin with. I kind of enjoyed the panels that he would do during the Rittenhouse and the Johnny Depp stuff, but it was always the other people he had around him that I think kind of shone through. Regardless, if anything serious does happen that's actually, important to mention, like he somehow faces jail again, like he breaks probation, then okay, I'll cover that. And I guess that's sort of the silver lining here, is that even though he may not go to jail for this, and he may not actually face any penalties for this, his public image is already destroyed. He'll never recover publicly from this, especially not with YouTube, and not without repenting severely about this too. And with the 5 years probation, I don't know. Can he make it 5 years? Who knows? I hope for his sake and for the sake of his family he does, and I hope he actually does turn it around, because that would be good for him and good for everyone else. But it's unlikely. He doesn't seem like he's repentant on this. He doesn't seem like he cares or sees himself as the guilty party here. It just seems like he's viewing himself as the victim again. Maybe he can make it 5 years, and maybe he can walk away from all this, have it off his record with no problems. A few decades down the line, no one will care because no one will remember. And that's really all there is to it. I don't think anyone will remember him in 10 years either way, at this rate, especially if he walks away with it. But yeah, congratulations, Rekieta, you made it through. But now all you gotta do is just be good for 5 years. If you can do that, you're in the clear. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. I was working on some things during my time away, which I'll talk more about when it's ready, I guess. So look forward to that. Anyway, see ya.